The Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
I'm the other co-host, Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, the Fantastic Four is having a fantastic opening weekend. Woo-hoo. A non-spoiler review is coming up. Happy Gilmore, giving it another swing, you could say, as the Adam Sandler Legacy sequel hits Netflix. Blue Blood spinoff with a Boston angle is in production, and much more. But first, Jamie, as you know, as we will talk about in this episode, I watched Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Not going to get into it right now, but before we got into the movie, of course, there were ads.
Yes.
There were commercials. There were trailers. You know, the whole thing, the whole spiel. They actually gave us an exclusive Avatar. Fire and Ash, the third Avatar movie in the James Cameron saga that he's creating. And so a lot of people, I was expecting, I'm lukewarm on the Avatar films.
Okay.
But, and I thought there were more people that were very excited and jazzed for it. But when the surprise trailer popped up before the movie started, crickets. There was like no one talking
reaction?
about, like, no one was like, ooh, or like, ah, or yes, or anything like that. It was just crickets.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was like kind of surprising for me. Now, I'm not one of the ones who would be like, yeah, Avatar. But I thought there were more.
James Cameron and all of them. So, I mean, it was a very good first movie. The first one was amazing. Yeah. The second one, visually amazing. Stunning and incredible, right? But it wasn't maybe the best movie of all times. I just don't know that we need this many.
We're getting 5 more, I think. We're getting a lot more. Like we're running out of elements.
Is that really necessary?
We have sky, water, fire. Like I think those are all the elementals of the planet.
Are we going to start going with heart? And all of the.
Soul,
we're just going to do the Planeteers.
Imagine if James Cameron just decides, this is actually a big, long game journey to eventually introduce the Planeteers.
Captain Planet.
That'd be the
full circle.
The prank of the century. But yeah, so nobody very excited for Avatar, Fire, and Ash. But one thing I think a lot of people are buzzing about online is the return of one of the golden gods of our youth, and that is Air Bud. Air Bud returns.
Okay.
This is so random, but Air Bud returns a teaser poster for the long-awaited, I'm assuming, movie theater release film of that golden retriever with a heart of gold was released, and I guess it's coming out next year. I saw more buzz online over that film than Avatar, the third one.
Yeah, and I love how, when you told me about this story, you're like, I can't wait for the popcorn buckets. And I'm like, don't you mean the popcorn buckets?
That's why they pay us the big bucks here on the Hub on Hollywood. Yeah, and of course, the buckets was kind of my play on basketball. Get it? Look at us. Look at how creative we are.
What do you think the popcorn bucket's going to look like? Do you think it's like going to be like the puppy like looking into the bucket with like maybe the paws hanging out? I was actually thinking that. Yeah, so
I think the bucket would be a solid like a can, but it would look like a net. A basketball net, and then you'd have like a doggy maybe peeking out, so you have the paws peeking out, and him doing that. But let me give you a quick trivia. Let me ask you really quick. How many, because a lot of them after the first one just went straight to VHS, to DVD.
Oh yeah, back then that happened a lot.
How many Air Buds, and this includes Air Buddies, how many are there in the Air Bud-verse?
Oh boy, 5, maybe 6.
No, we're not talking about James Cameron over here. This is serious business.
All right, 3.
No. I'm in the opposite direction.
Oh, God, really?
Compared to Air Bud, James Cameron has nothing on this franchise.
Straight to VHS. How many?
14.
You've got to be kidding.
14.
There's no way.
And this includes, I believe, 5. How do they break it down? But yeah, the majority are Air Buddies. So you have like the puppy golden retrievers, going to space or playing baseball or, I don't know, what's another Olympic sport, high diving, what have you.
Yeah.
And so you have all these, but this one appears to be a theatrical release.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. I don't know.
Wow, Happy Gilmore's not even getting a theatrical release.
I know.
That's impressive. But, I get that they're capitalizing on nostalgia, especially for us, 90s people, 90s babies that are but Air Bud isn't one that I would have anticipated or expected that they would want to redo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about all of the movies that came out back then, I don't know, weren't there some other properties that you might want to see more of? I'm thinking like Blank Check.
Blank Check has its problems if you rewatch it.
I haven't rewatched it in a very long time.
There's some inappropriate behavior between adults and child in that film. Remember that kiss at the very end of that movie?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Blank Check, the kid. For those who haven't watched Blank Check in a while, and now as an adult, go back in that scene. There's a scene where the little
kisses
boy,
the lady.
The lady.
Oh no!
She's like, "Hey, call me in like 10 years," and gives him a kiss. It's like,
No.
whoa, what the heck?
Oh my gosh!
Straight to jail.
God, what's the other one? There was a movie where a girl who had an imaginary friend, and at the end of the movie, like, she kisses the imaginary friend at the end on the lips, and it's like he's like just a guy. He's just like a dude.
Ooh, a lot of 90s films are just weird and don't.
Yeah, they're just not they did not age well.
Yeah.
But Air Bud did.
Air Bud
ages well.
Air Bud
is
ages
appropriate.
Well.
God,
really,
this makes me go back and.
I hate to further disturb you with old movies, but there's a movie in 2011. I looked this up yesterday because I was listening to a live stream of some gamers, and they were talking about this film that came out in 2011, and it's basically, here's the synopsis. I'm gonna find it in a minute, but the synopsis is, and this is way off track. This is blowing us way off track. No. I find this very interesting too. In 2011, the movie came out, and it's about a woman who befriends a dog.
Okay.
Right? You know, seems nice. Rescues a dog.
Of course.
However, at night, that dog turns into a man.
No, stop.
And it's love at first bark.
No, please stop.
I'm not going. I thought these guys were joking on this stream, so I Googled it.
Yeah.
And it's a real movie. It's a real movie.
Lordy.
Are you Googling it right now?
No, I'm trying
Please,
to find.
You don't want that on your phone.
No.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What was it?
Oh, hold on here, guys. We have to do this research. This needs to be.
While you're looking that up, let me do this. 2011 movie, dog by day turns into a man at night. Love on a Leash.
No, please.
Yeah. So, Love on a Leash. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but it also stars a golden retriever. Love takes a furry twist in the slice of a romantic comedy. A young woman falls for a stray dog with a secret. By night, it becomes a man. Follow the journey of the golden retriever and the friend who gives him a home.
Listen, there's a very important distinction that needs to be made here. Is it a man that got turned into a dog, or is it a dog that got turned into a man?
Let me ask you a question. Does it matter?
No.
Does it matter?
No, but one makes me feel like slightly less icky.
Right. Like a Beauty and the Beast situation?
Yeah, like
a man
he
turns
is
into
a man, but he's like
or
enchanted somehow, and like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I can do that.
No.
I couldn't live with that.
No. Drop Dead Fred, by the way, is the name of the movie with the imaginary friend.
Drop Dead Fred. Okay, I have heard of that, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I really liked it
so
back then.
So you want to redo that?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't want that.
I was just
I was thinking about another 90s movie that I think would be a good one for today's generation, today's kids' generation. Dustin Checks In. Do you remember that one?
No.
Basically, and I love this tangent we're going on, but basically there's this kid, his father is like the general manager of this fancy hotel, I think in New York City or somewhere. And one of the guests shows up, a jewel thief, I believe. He shows up, and in his big luggage, like, you know, this big, cartoony kind of like travel, like box luggage, he has a orangutan.
Okay.
An orangutan that he uses to commit said jewelry heists, and eventually, like, it gets loose somehow. The kid runs into it. The monkeys, the apes, the great ape's name is Dustin, and so then Dustin and this kid run, amok and run into hijinks in the hotel, and then finally at the very end, they catch the bad guy and find the jewels and yada yada.
You see, but movies like that, they make you feel good.
Yeah, so
they're family friendly. They make you feel good.
the problem is, I feel like if they did remake that, they would have to, not that they would have to, that they would use a CGI ape.
Yeah.
And nothing beats 90s, like, real animals, like, trained animals that are treated well. I don't want any of that abuse and stuff, but, we've lost the art. We've lost that artwork of using real animals, trained animals.
Of trained animals. But, yeah, there's a lot of pushback in Hollywood on that. But, yeah, I mean, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. A couple of other movies from the 90s.
Yes,
I love how we're just completely going on this tangent. There were a lot of great baseball movies.
Angels in the Outfield.
That
kid who can launch his arm like a rocket.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I think that's like
Rowan Gardner. I don't remember the name of the movie,
Most valuable player, most valuable kid, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like he falls and
something of the year, player of the year.
I think it was player of the year.
Yeah. That was a really good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's fun.
So I think that we need to bring heart back. We need to bring family-friendly Americana back. Like just fun, chill movies. I think that there's just been, even with the kids' movies, it's so like dark and things are like the stakes are too high. The stakes are just way too high. We just need fun back. So
bring
Air
back
Bud,
animal jobs.
Exactly.
This better be a real dog. This better be a real dog. That would be a huge controversy.
Yeah.
I think if they use like a CG dog.
Well, here's another point to that. Superman, right?
Yes.
They had a CGI dog,
right?
But it was really, really well done.
It was.
If it was a dog like that, like Crypto, would you be satisfied with that, or do
no?
You
Because
really
the gimmick is a real dog playing basketball. If you have a CGI dog playing basketball, like okay, that I don't know, that's going too far. But if you have a real dog, like, oh right, that dog is really dunking and going for a layup, like that's part of the movie. That's like the heart of the film. I want to see that snoot hit that ball.
Boop the snoot.
Boop that ball. Yeah.
Aw, okay.
All our 90s kids and friends and part of the Hub Club members, what do you think about this Air Bud Returns? And what 90s, kids-friendly movie would you want to see? Maybe not get rebooted necessarily, but a similar movie, with the same heart, a style.
Exactly.
Be brought back. All right. Well,
that was a great tangent.
I love that tangent. No, we need more of this. Fun. Yeah. But you know what we need more of? We need more filming in Boston.
That's
we need
right.
more casting and
more
jobs.
Boston filming, more movies, more TV shows.
More blood.
More blue blood.
More blue blood.
So, whatever.
I don't know what happened there.
It's all right. It's all right. You shouldn't be drinking this early, James.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. But so we're getting a Blue Bloods spin-off that has started filming now. It's going to be called Boston Blue. So let me just read the synopsis here for you. Join NYPD officer Danny Regan, played by Donnie Wahlberg, as he relocates to Boston, joining the Boston Police Department and partnering with Detective Lena Peters, the eldest daughter of a prominent law enforcement family. Together, they navigate the tight-knit community of civil servants, echoing the values and bonds of Danny's New York roots. So Danny Wahlberg reprising his role. This is going to be filming in Boston and Toronto, primarily in Toronto, but they're going to be doing all the exterior shots and some other things here in Boston. Boston Casting is in charge of that for background. If you want to hang out with Donnie Wahlberg, maybe get a Wahlburger, I don't know.
Burger or two.
While you're out there, head over to bostoncasting.com, sign up for free, get those notifications when those casting calls come down.
I want to hear a Canadian Boston accent. I want to hear a Canadian doing a Boston accent. Like this one, like we should watch a couple episodes when this comes out and rank. Like let's see if this
Wicked Pissa, eh?
Wicked Pissa, eh? Well, my wife was saying like Wicked Pissa means like wicked good. Like Pissa's good, right? Yeah. So I think I misused it once, and people were not happy. They were revolted.
That's okay. Yeah. That's all right, James. That's all right. We're both transplants here to the New England region, but we love it. So
I feel like a New Englander.
Exactly. We've been here long enough.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Speaking about who's been here long enough, not long enough, but has been here for a long time, and is legendary legendary is Mr. George Lucas, the brain behind Star Wars, the Star Wars franchise, which has spanned decades and inspired countless millions of people, young and old, to do better and be their best. Well, he will be trying his best at Comic-Con in San Diego this weekend. This is his first Comic-Con appearance ever.
Ever,
which sounds insane because at the first Comic-Con, Star Wars was obviously already been a big hit, and people were cosplaying or things of that nature were present at the first Comic-Con. And throughout the years, of course, everyone loves dressing up, buying merch, selling merch, doing all this stuff. And this is the first time that that the Star Wars Grand Poobah will be there in person.
Grand Poobah.
Yeah. So. Question for you, because they do a lot of Q&As in the halls and whatnot. If they're passing down a microphone down the row that you're sitting in, and the spotlight's on you, and they give you the microphone,
ask him a question?
And they say, "All right, we have time for one last question, so let's make sure it's a good one." Jamie, you have the microphone in your hand.
Christ.
What do you ask George Lucas during this once in a lifetime opportunity?
I need more than a few seconds to come up with an answer.
I'll pretend I'm George Lucas.
But I'd be like, Georgie. Well, here's the thing. There are questions that I want answered, but that would not be polite. And I don't want to be rude.
Well, I'm George Lucas right now. My whole fan, and I'm sorry doing a Trump impression. my whole fan base has been very rude to me. So you cannot hurt me any more than I've already been hurt. Continue with your.
I feel so bad, George. George Lucas. Thank you for Lucasfilms and Industrial Light and Magic,
of course,
and for stuff and junk.
Right.
How you?
That's your offensive question.
How's your vacation? Are you retired yet? I don't know.
How dare you?
There are a lot of things that I would legitimately want to ask, but not to his face.
I think and I think this would already have been asked before the mic got to me, but I would ask before you sold Lucasfilm to Disney, because he apparently had a whole plan for the following 3 films. So what was your plan? And I think he's already spoken out about how it would have been drastically different. He hasn't gone into details about what it would have been. So I would want to find out, what would your following 3 films be? What would Luke be doing? What would Leia be doing? What would Han be doing? What would Chewie be doing? And all that stuff. So that'd be my safe question.
Okay, so here's my question. I would be like, hey, any plans to take it back from Disney? Please.
I don't have enough billions of dollars to buy out Disney.
That's
Next
unfortunate.
Question.
That's unfortunate.
Question.
Is that how he talks?
I'm going back to my plane, my Starfighter plane. Don't look at me.
Because he's had such a, I want to say cantankerous, but he's had a love and hate relationship with the fan base, because the fan base can be a little intense.
No, Star Wars
not
fans?
at all.
No,
not at all.
What?
Yeah,
no.
so I'm surprised. After almost 50 years later.
Wow.
Actually, doing his very first appearance, does he feel like the heat's died down enough?
Oh, yeah. I don't think
he can do this,
I think his soul and everything has just been sucked out of him. So I think it's just like a husk of a man, and he doesn't take offense anymore to these kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But he's going to be there too, not only talk to fans or see fans, but also to preview the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art that's opening up next year in Los Angeles.
So
here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. I was actually there at the groundbreaking. I was a reporter in Los Angeles when they broke the ground for where they're building the museum. George Lucas was there. Steven Spielberg was there.
Wow.
And I got some awesome pictures. If I find them, if I'm able to find them, I'll post them right here. If not, it's just my hand that's facing the camera. But yeah, so I was there, and I want to say maybe I'm misremembering this. No, it's a different time. But George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were there for the groundbreaking.
Did you get to ask them questions?
No, we didn't get to ask questions. They kept the media behind a rope, and so we could not get close. Also, that just spurred a memory. I was there when Mark Hamill got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Wow!
I was reporting
Look
also,
at you.
and so Mark was there. Harrison Ford was there. They had stormtroopers.
Did you
R2D2.
see my man?
I saw your man. He was looking good.
You saw my man in person.
He was looking good. Looking good, smelling good.
I want to see my man.
Yeah.
Smelling good.
Smelling good.
I know
everything.
he smells good.
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, if you go to my YouTube, maybe I'll put a link somewhere. But my own personal YouTube channel, I have like news reports and whatnot, and I have, I believe, a portion of that. Of him and Mark and Harrison talking. So and it was crazy because I know we're going on side tangents, but
it's the best part.
It's the best part about the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So celebrities left and right, artists, musicians, they get stars. And usually it's a big deal. You have like. Maybe on an average, depending who the artist is and level of celebrity, maybe 40 people show up, like fans show up, 50 fans show up, people kind of like block the sidewalk, they coordinate off and they do the ceremony. They literally had to close off like Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard where the Walk of Fame is, and hundreds of people showed up for Mark Hamill's star unveiling. Like it was the most anybody had ever seen. It was incredible. Like it never gets that big, but for Mark,
he deserves the universe.
He deserves the universe, the galaxy far away.
And nearby. And all around. All of them.
All right. Are you going to Comic-Con? Are you watching this? If you do, ask George Lucas. What's your offensive question that you wanted to ask George Lucas? Let us know. Comment down below. Send some pictures.
And also, we're going to be at Fan Expo Boston coming up. That's like in 2 weeks or something like that?
August 9th?
Yeah, August 8th or 9th.
Through
that weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to be there. So if you want to geek out here, closer to home in the New England region, we're going to be there. And we love interviewing people every year. We look for the best cosplays and things like that. So if you're going to be there, look for us. And maybe you get to be on the Hub on Hollywood.
Yeah, you can catch yourself here on YouTube. Join the Hub Club members. We are at 585 subscribers. Help us get to 600. Again, it just seems like yesterday we crossed the 500 mark. So very good. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hub on Hollywood, for liking and subscribing. If you can't watch us on YouTube because you got a life, you're driving around, you're washing dishes, you're washing the dog, whatever, you can also listen to us on any streaming service like iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. You can also find us on the social medias at Hub on Hollywood. So thank you for the support.
Woohoo!
Speaking of support, what's a great support system? Family.
And
you know what? Familia. How does Vin Diesel say? We're family.
We're family.
We're family. But the first family in the MCU is now on the big screen.
Woo-hoo!
The Fantastic Four just came out, and a lot of people are raving about this. I watched it yesterday, and this would be in my non-spoiler review, but I really enjoyed this film.
Yay.
This is, if you're a DC fan, if you're a Marvel fan, this is the blockbuster summer you've been waiting years for, because how often do we have not only a really good Marvel movie, but also a really good DC movie?
I know.
Unheard
that's
of.
Rare.
Sounds unheard
Very
of.
Rare.
Very rare, but we got it this summer. Superman was fantastic, and Fantastic Four is terrific. I really
that is so confusing.
I know.
Terrific is in the Superman and Fantastic is in the other. Okay, go
exactly.
ahead. I've had trouble with this.
We will.
Back and
we
forth.
will help you. We will solve this problem
I get
for
so
you.
confused.
But the problem, there are no problems for the cast of the Fantastic Four because people are coming out in droves to watch this. I watched it in IMAX, and by the time I got a ticket, there were like 3 seats left, and I was able to get one in a good spot, like just in the middle of everyone. So that was fully packed. All the show times for every other movie theater, like IMAX or Dolby, or even like the small 30-seat theaters at Assembly Row, packed, filled to the gills.
Nice.
With people really excited for this film. I think great word of mouth is going to lead to even more people watching this film. It has a great box office opening. I think already it's projected to get around, or to earn around $110 million in this debut weekend. Just maybe inching or a little bit more than Superman. But again, if you're a comic book fan, this is great for you.
So I heard a rumor about why Galactus has targeted the Earth and whatnot, and I wanted to know if
it's in the trailer. So if you don't want to watch the trailer,
well, no, I was just hoping you could like maybe clarify this one rumor for me. That Galactus came to destroy Earth because he's tired of seeing Pedro Pascal and everything. Is that true?
Well, obviously he hasn't seen this movie because he would not feel that way after watching this film. Yeah, so, and I will get, maybe not into spoilers, because if you want to go in fresh, don't watch the last trailer, because it basically says, Galactus wants this. So like, okay, thanks. I mean, it doesn't ruin the movie. You find out in kind of like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not a big thing. But yeah, Fantastic Four, directed by Matt Shackman, who directed WandaVision, who also had those episodes that had the retro 60s, 50s vibe.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, and several other decades that they included in that show. But we have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Eben Moss-Backrack as Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm, Julia Garner is Shala Bal, aka Silver Surfer, and Ralph Ineson as Galactus. This guy, if you haven't heard this guy's voice before, Google Ralph Ineson on YouTube. He was most recently in Nosferatu with Nicholas Hoult, who was in Superman. But like, this guy's voice is so deep, and the treble to it, you feel it in your chest, and was the perfect choice for this galactic, eater of worlds character. So nice. I think the casting was great. The story, this is about the Fantastic Four in the multiverse 828. They must defend Earth from the ravaging cosmic threat Galactus and his herald, Silver Surfer, while navigating the complexities of family and newfound powers in a retro-futuristic 1960s-inspired world. Jamie, first visually, trailer-wise, like when you first saw the images about this, what was going through your head?
The aesthetic, I can't wait. Like my eyeballs couldn't get enough. It was so beautiful, clean lines, nice contrasting, simple colors, but like that great 60s futuristic, idyllic, sort of design and aesthetic. Like I want more. Yeah. So how did it end up looking on the screen? Did it stay that way? Yeah,
it's a perfect movie, and it takes place on Earth, of course, but because there's the space aspect to it as well. At a point, the Fantastic Four go into space, and then you see like the cosmic beauty of. So you have like the real world kind of 1960s retro feature, like Jetsons kind of mix, 1960s and Jetsons vibe. But then you go into space also, and this is some of the best space visuals that we've seen in any Marvel movie or any real movie. Not, you know what I mean when I say real movie, but any movie. So like visually, it's a delicious delicacy for your eyes.
Yeah.
So that's one great thing that really stood out about this film. Like Superman, I like how they get right into the world building, and basically kind of mid-story. You're given this kind of
you dropped it.
Yeah, you're brought up to date. This is 4 years into the Fantastic Four, kind of like Superman was 3 years into being Superman. This is 4 years into being the Fantastic Four, and so they give you this kind of like old-fashioned, old-timey newsreel, kind of like the Fantastic Four. They've been in town. They're hot in town. You know who they are. They're gonna rescue you, and with a smile on their face and a pinky in the air, or whatever. Yeah, and so so you get caught up really quick, which I love. And I told you last week with the Superman movie, it feels like a comic. It feels like a Justice League Unlimited cartoon episode, because you're just jammed, you're thrown into the mix, but you're not confused. You're introduced to characters. This is who they are. This is what the problem is, and you're running as soon as you get into the movie.
Yeah.
And so I love that, because we don't need all these backstories. And they give you the backstory, but in a very short, minute, and you're up to speed. So I love how they do that, and I love how they really give we haven't had a good MCU villain in a long time.
Okay.
Because we had Jonathan Majors as Kang. We had I don't know who else. I mean, there are other people that you just can't really think of. The one from the Marvels. Did you see that one? Who fought Miss Marvel and Kamala Khan and all that stuff. These villains are not standing out.
There wasn't anything really after Thanos.
No. But Galactus is a real threat, a real planetary threat, and Silver Surfer, they feel dangerous, and so that's one thing I love about this film, where they're very hard to defeat, but in this movie, there's a way to easily defeat them, but by doing so would be much worse than the latter, if that makes sense. I don't want to give any spoilers.
All right.
So basically, there's a simple way they could solve this problem of Galactus coming to Earth to devour it. But in doing so, they would have to do something unthinkable.
Right. Impossible choice.
Impossible choice kind of a thing.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death. Your world will be consumed by the Devourer. There is nothing you can do to stop him, for he is a universal force, as essential as the stars. Hold your loved ones close, and speak the words you've been afraid to speak. Use this time to rejoice and celebrate, for your time is short. I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
I like how in this film, Pedro Pascal isn't playing the typecast kind of suave, cool guy. He is cool, but he's not like cool in that kind of way, because Reed Richards is one of, if not the smartest man in this universe on Earth. And so he's always constantly thinking about like the potential things that could go wrong and how to solve them with technology and using his brain and his mind to do so. And so when problems arise, you could kind of see him becoming like kind of neurotic to a point where he's getting very flustered and kind of frozen in place with what to do, because this is like seemingly an impossible problem to solve. But then you have like Sue Storm, played by Vanessa Kirby, who is probably the biggest standout in this film. I was surprised by how much of heart and how much weight of this film she carries on her shoulders. She plays a great counter to Reed Richards and his kind of nervousness or kind of like a fear of the unknown. And so we can go into that really quick. So Pedro Pascal, great casting as Mr. Fantastic. Eben Moss Rackback as the Thing. He's great. He's strong, but he's sweet. He's smart. He doesn't have the same anguish as previous things have had.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do these iterations of these characters compare to like the last cinematic versions we got? Was it Chris Evans as the Flame?
Yeah, I won't mention Fan Stick, the one that came out like 10 years ago with Michael B. Jordan and some other guys. Do you remember that one? The one that was like dark and gritty? No one remembers that one. It was a bad Fantastic Four movie. But the one with Chris Evans, with Michael Chiklis. In those films, and even in like the one that we won't mention, Fan Stick, the Thing. Because you see the origin, you see them right when these characters get their powers, and for the Thing, he turns into this rock being creature, and in all those other films you see the anguish and the pain and him being angry that he's become this thing, and everybody feels sorry for him. Reed Richards feels guilt and he's anguished, but in this one, again, it's 4 years in, and you see a Thing. I keep saying the Thing, but you see a Thing that is accepting of who he is, and he's loved by everybody. Like children love him, people love him in his neighborhood and in his community. And again, he's smart. He loves to cook. He's like kind of like a homebody kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so it has a big difference compared to the previous iterations that I appreciate, because the sad Thing is very kind of just played out. We need a different version of this. So this is what we get. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. Again, one of the more surprising casting choices of this film, and the one that I thought may have been the weakest link going into the film, but he ended up being a lot more pivotal in this film, and a lot more. I don't want to say smart, because I guess the Chris Evans version is a lot more like hot-headed, loose, and loosey-goosey, and doesn't take things too seriously. This one is kind of a jokester, but there are moments where he shows true intelligence, true bravery, and he has a good number of standout moments where you're like, dang, this is a good. So
it feels more real, not like I'm a superhero, and like very dismissive and like. There
is one character writing issue about Johnny Storm that I didn't quite like, just because it didn't really fit the tone of the scene or the moment, and I'll attribute that to the writing of it. So maybe in spoilers down the road we can talk about it, but there's a little part between Johnny Storm and another character where I was like, really? This isn't the time for this, Johnny. And you know this. This is like really serious business right now. Stop it. Other than that, it was great. But like I said, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the best thing about this, if you have a young child, I have a young child.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
She stands out because, and I don't think this is a spoiler because it's in the trailers.
We've seen a baby in the trailers.
We've seen a baby in the trailer, and so there's a baby in this film, and you get a lot of that motherly love and strength.
And protection.
Mm-hmm. And
the fierceness.
And the fierceness. And there are parts in this movie where I'm tearing up just by the sheer tyranny of will that Sue Storm is willing to do and to commit to save lives and save her child and stuff.
It's amazing how your perspective changes after you have kids, and how movies that you didn't really care about before like totally wreck you.
Oh yeah.
Now, and it's just so it seems like that's maybe one of them.
You know this isn't a Hub on Hollywood podcast if I don't talk about Paddington, but I was telling my wife about this film and about some of these moments, and she doesn't care, so I just spoiled everything for her. But I was telling her about these heart-wrenching moments between a mother and child or father and child, like newborn or young child, and she brings up do you remember when you cried during Paddington 2? And I had seen Paddington 2 already numerous times at this point, but this was shortly after our daughter was born, and there's a scene in the opening where it shows how Paddington was rescued by Aunt Lucy and his uncle. And during this scene, I'm like crying. I tell my wife, like, if Maya ever falls into a river that's going over a waterfall, you have to save her. And she's like, I know, I will. And I'm like, but like it gets to you. And
have you ever seen A Little Princess?
Have I seen A Little Princess?
It's a movie.
No,
yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay, so World War II, this little girl gets sent to a prep school in like France or something. Her father's off at war, and then he supposedly dies. And this prep school's like, well, you have no money anymore. Now you live in the attic and you're a servant.
Damn.
And like she loses everything. And then at the very end, she sees her father again. He had lost all of his memory. He had amnesia. He was like just a war veteran being taken care of in a home. And she's yelling for him. She's screaming for him, like, Daddy, remember me. Daddy, remember me. And he didn't remember her.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, my freaking God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, things like that, like, I don't feel like would have affected me as much before I had kids. But now, like, completely take you out.
I'm a mess now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's a good thing, though.
So during this film, I don't think you need to have kids to appreciate those moments. You maybe just think about your own mom or your own parents during these like climactic moments in the film. But for me, I definitely hit and it worked. I got more teary-eyed in this movie than I did in Superman. Now that Superman was this has more emotional weight than Superman, more lighthearted in that other film, but this one has a lot more, again, the family bond, the complexity of the relationships between each other. One thing I like about this film also, compared to other Fantastic Four movies, is that no one's really like angry with each other, or there isn't like confusion or like, oh, you said this and I'm gonna misinterpret it and not ask you what it meant when you said this thing, and for divisive purposes in the plot. Like this doesn't need that kind of film. You have real conversations and real moments of like and maybe not debate is the best word, but like back and forth about situation and what to do and what not to do, and you feel like this is like how you would talk to your wife, but it's not a fight, but it's a hard conversation to have. And so they have this realistic interpretation of a family and this dynamic that these have. So very impactful scenes. Vanessa Kirby again steals the movie. She's fantastic. Action sequences, a lot of action sequences stand out, including, as I mentioned, the space scenes. There's an entire sequence in space, and it's thrilling. It's so thrilling with the Fantastic Four, with Silver Surfer. Like I'm at the edge of my seat, and there are scenes where like it gets about to get dark, and like oh crap, and then and things happen. But the entire like space sequence. I don't want to give anything away just because you have to go in there and appreciate it yourself. But that was a great stuff. I love how it shows the film during the battles and fight scenes, how the characters work together as a team. It shows that, they've been doing this for a while. They know combo moves, and so Sue Storm could do this, and then this other character can bounce off of that, or vice versa. And so everybody's doing their part, and they're all using their own personal strengths, but together they're all stronger together.
That's
like a
right.
family. Like a family.
How did the animation look? How did the CGI look with their abilities? The abilities looked good. I will admit there's some scenes with the baby, because you can only film so much with a baby. Yes.
And so there are some parts where
baby.
and there's some parts where, like, for example, the Thing, he's fully CGI. He's holding the baby, and like you're just kind of looking at him and like, these are two CGI things holding each other right now.
Okay. So how does this... Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So how does this baby compare to the green baby in Superman?
It looks better, but again, this is a human baby as opposed to a green little round baby.
Yeah.
So
or how about...
Don't say Twilight. Twilight's, though, is like the bar.
I was going to say that.
That's the bar.
I like
on the
how
ground.
you can read my mind.
That's a bar on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, this there are some moments where it looks kind of wonky, but overall they do use a real child, like a real infant, and so it looks
as
good.
Much as they can.
Yeah, as much as they can, and so you kind of understand that kind of suspension of disbelief.
You mean they didn't throw a baby into outer space?
They did not throw a baby into outer space off a rocket. Let's see. Villains, again, Julia Gardner as Shala Ball, aka the Silver Surfer. Very imposing figure. She lets the world know that I'm here. My leader's coming. You guys are doomed. There's no way around it. And Galactus, kind of a matter of fact, also kind of saying, like, he doesn't say things, he just decrees things. He says, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. You are going to do this. And so he has that, again, he's like basically a god in the Marvel universe. And so having him, his imposing figure, and that booming voice, again, it just works perfectly. And a lot of people were saying, I hope they nail this, because a giant man in a purple suit could look ridiculous. Sometimes it looks ridiculous in comics or in cartoons. I think they nailed it. I think they did a very good job with him.
I don't know if you know how comic book accurate this is. I'm going to go see this on Sunday with my sister-in-law, who is a big Fantastic Four fan, into the comics and stuff like that. Have you heard about how accurate this might be to some of the storylines in the comics?
I would say pretty similar. I would say there are comics that this movie pulls from, and some storylines that this movie pulls from, that I think those who are big readers of it would they're pulling from this and this and this. I think so.
I think that and the other thing I'm really happy about are my pants.
Because
we're talking about comic books left and right, all these great comic book movies. I've got like the comic book panels there.
I don't want to force you to show off your pants, but can you stand up for a second?
Yeah, so this is see, it says like pop, zip, splat, boom.
Splat, bang, boom.
Yeah, so like comic book panels there.
All right.
Someslightclothing.com is where I got that. So
are we sponsored by them?
No, but we
I'm blurring that.
we will be soon. We will be soon after this.
No.
But yeah, I think that this is the time for people to go out and get their nerdy gear and go out and support all these great, fantastic movies that are coming out.
Somebody dressed up as a Fantastic Four. Not the comic version or this movie version, but I think it was like maybe a video game version of Sue Storm. So somebody went in it's not a leotard, but it's like a one-piece suit.
The blue
stretchy
onesie.
Yeah, kind of like that. So it's like a white one with like kind of weird stripes. I started going up the escalator. I'm like, that's weird. And then when you go in, you just see like everybody kind of like with the Fantastic Four merch, and then like, oh, you're here for the movie. It was so random. Like, why is that person wearing that? Like,
you thought
costume?
Like she was just like an astronaut, or just like
what are you doing? Wearing this weird thing. You're like, oh, you're here for the movie. Got it. Makes sense.
Have you decided what you're going to wear for Fan Expo Boston?
I think it might be Superman.
Yeah, I think you should.
I gotta be. 100%. I gotta make up for lost times.
Okay.
But you know what? Fantastic Four, again, I had a great time watching it in IMAX. I think you should watch it in theaters very soon. A lot of people are watching it in theaters. As I said, it's opening preview day on Thursday. $24.4 million, expected to make between 100 and 110 during this debut weekend.
Nice.
So it just beat out the Superman preview by maybe like 2 million. Earlier this month.
Neck and neck.
So neck and neck. Again, it's not a competition. Both movies are great. If you are a fan of DC, Marvel, comics, I think this is a great month to go to the movies.
It's a wonderful era. And to have these coming out at the same time, and I think they're finally like getting that formula down. What really connects with people, and it's
my last final thing is I'll stick for the post mid credit. The biggest cheers I think of the movie.
Really?
The movie happened during that post credit.
Okay.
So there's a very end credit. You don't have to stay for that. It's a fun little thing. Doesn't really further the plot or future movies. It's just a fun little like thing. But stay for the post mid credit scene.
Okay.
That tells you exactly what's going to happen next, or where we're going next. But where we are going next, I do want to talk about Happy Gilmore. Too, in just a second. But speaking about Pedro Pascal, he's been doing a lot of press, of course. So he actually said, did you watch Wonder Woman 1984?
Yes.
So, did you notice anything weird about Pedro?
Weird how?
I don't know. When I didn't watch the movie, I watched the trailers, and I thought, God, like he just his I don't know if it was the clothing at the time or whatever, but I
kind of like over the top.
I just thought he looked weird, and apparently he thought he looked weird too. So much so, he says he's never shaving his face for an acting role again. He says that he was so appalled by the way he looked in Wonder Woman 1984. He says he loves the movie, but he says that he will never shave for a movie unless it were completely necessary ever again. And I think a Pedro without facial hair he looks very different. And I guess he just didn't like how he looked on screen. His face 20 feet high, 20 feet tall, wide, blown up on a big screen. He says that if he was asked to be clean shaven for the Fantastic Four and they insisted, he would have done it. But fortunately, nobody asked him to.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
But listen, he is a beautiful man with or without a beard. But I am in the pro beard camp.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I think it looks very good on him and on most men. Pro beard, go beards.
Go beards.
Go beards.
Go beards. Should we go swinging away? Should we go for another round of golf?
Yeah, I think we should. But right. Speaking of beards, though, beard trimmed, nice, neat, not like Happy Gilmore in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So Happy Gilmore 2, Adam Sandler reprising one of his most memorable, iconic roles. What was the word you used? Like legacy
sequel?
A legacy sequel. We've been seeing a lot of these lately. It is out now on Netflix, filmed here in New England, primarily in Rhode Island. And the one thing that I always like to mention that I really appreciate about Adam Sandler is he films a lot in New England.
Yeah.
And he has tons of background. He provides so very many jobs whenever he puts one of these movies together. So much love, much appreciation, and I think that people should go show their support by watching this film. That being said, James, whether or not you're going to enjoy this film depends on whether you fall into one of two camps.
Okay.
Either you love just pure nostalgia and fan service and rehash, of the classics, and you just want those beats that you loved before and you want to see them again. You want to see, you just want them almost exactly how they were, right? You'll be happy, I think, with Happy Gilmore 2. But if you're looking for a sequel that progresses the plot or introduces new characters or moves the story forward in a meaningful way that is new and different, and then you might not like this one as much. Happy Gilmore 2 is the most fan service I have ever seen in the history of fan service. I feel like, and we're not going to go into deep spoilers here. This is just, very light smattering. Just giving you the general idea.
Right.
But so many flashbacks to the original film.
Like literal flashbacks or callbacks?
Literal flashbacks to the original film and callbacks. Almost the entire original cast is back. With some additions, right? This is a number of years later.
Yeah.
25 years later. It's Happy and his children. And so new adventure, right, let's say. And I think that this is out in the trailers, so it's not a spoiler. But the plot is that he has 5 children. 4 very rowdy, rambunctious, aggressive boys who are like him, and 1 daughter who is a ballerina, wants to go to this ballet school. She's been accepted into this prestigious program in Paris, and he needs to be able to afford to send her, and that's what drives him back onto the golf course.
So is this Happy?
Hijinks ensue.
So is this Happy kind of like he's retired from golf and he's lost money? Is he like in the dumps? Like where do we find him? Because it seems like
we find him in a low place without giving too much away.
Yeah,
we find him kind of in a low place. He doesn't have any money. Like the family's poor but happy. Nah. Right. But then he just finds that they're in a place where he needs to make the big bucks again in order to give his daughter a chance to achieve her dreams and, go for the big time. And he has to dust the rust off, right? He's got to shake off the rust and he's got to get back up to ship shape. And that means bringing back every single person from his past to help him do that. So like I said, if you love nostalgia, if you love all the callbacks, if you love all the fan service, this movie is going to make you happy. It's going to make you smile, I feel like, either way. Is it the most profound movie ever? Is it going to change your life? Is it the best thing that was ever? No. But that's okay.
It's on Netflix.
It's straight to Netflix. Right?
Is that it? Like it's on Netflix.
It's on
if you have Netflix.
But I feel like people are going to like it.
I know Bad Bunny and Eminem are in there. Do they have fun roles? Are they?
Yes, fun cameos.
Yeah.
So there are fun cameos. You are going to smile. I think that there's something for everybody in this movie. The jokes. They're playing on the generations too. They're making fun of the different generations.
My generation did it this way. Well, we do it this way now with science. Well, we do it over here with elbow grease, kind of thing.
And all the the lingual differences. I know we had a meltdown last episode over like the skibbity and the tung 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 sahur and all that stuff. Like, so I mean, they're playing on those sorts of generational differences, so that's always fun too. And of course, there's a happy ending. I mean, it's a Happy Gilmore. It's a comedy. So
I'm not sure if you want to mention this, but you sent a video. Your son tried to explain the world. So
maybe we'll play it here.
I don't know, but I'm about to get into it. But I think I understand it now. This is a story. Okay. I thought these are just like words people are saying in sentences now, but these are like characters in an ongoing story.
They're legit, they're like characters that are made and are digital and that sometimes have interconnecting stories, but I don't know that there's one cohesive narrative. There's just various stories that like go in a million different directions, but there are some that connect. And I feel like some of what my son made up, I feel like he made up some of that. I couldn't follow it for real. Like, so my 10-year-old was going on a tangent like, oh, well, Tung 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 Sahur is married to ballerina Cappuccina and then they have a baby, this and that. And and going through like all the characters and how they were created.
And these are all AI generated characters.
These are all AI generated like TikTok videos that are, disturbing to me, but the kids love it.
Do you think a movie can be made from this?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
You know that they're making a Skibbity Toilet movie.
I told you this.
Yes, I know. We talked about that last time. I have no idea how, what the plot would be.
At this point, will the kids think it's lame? Because like, oh, that's so lame. That's so a year ago, Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they still, like the Skibbity thing is still there, but it's dying out. Like the Italian brain rot is
going down the drain. Going
the
down the toilet drain.
What's the other thing? There was another thing too. Those ugly dolls from China.
Oh, yeah.
Labubus.
Labubus. I was going to do a story about it. Never wound up doing it. But yeah, Labubus.
Yeah, Labubus. And there's Labubu AI videos now too. So it's just... Yeah, I hear a lot of things in my house, downstairs.
You're like, I mostly try not to think about it too much.
Yeah. And I'll be upstairs and I just hear Labubu. Labubu. Or we went to Canopy Lake Park. Like we were at the theme park and there's like teenagers walking by going ballerina cappuccino, brr brr patapum.
Like, okay, so that I don't get. I don't get. So like this is a story, these are characters. Why are people randomly saying it?
But look, James, so here's the point that no, but it's called mimetic epidemiology.
You stop that. You stop saying stuff right now.
It's what happens when people connect and like things travel between people in small groups or large groups. For example, I went to an anime convention in Baltimore one time. There was a dude outside who was selling water, and he had a slogan, he had a song. He was singing, and it's the ice cold water, and it's only $1. Ice, ice, cold, cold. And slowly that jingle trickled throughout the entire convention center. Within a few hours, thousands of people inside of the convention center were all singing the same thing to each other back and forth through the hallways. This is something that has always existed. And I challenge that you have done it too. Growing up, do you remember the Chappelle Show?
Yes.
Every single week that the Chappelle Show came out and then I went to school, they were shouting in the hallways the new thing for that week. So, okay, what? Like, whatever it was that week, you could hear it in the hallways passing through, but we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have YouTube, they couldn't make it into weird, creepy AI videos, but it just happens to be that now the new thing are the weird, creepy AI videos, and they see it, and it gets passed around. So, like, every single child and teenager within a certain age range are all saying the same thing. So it's just interesting, and it's called, and this is where the word meme comes from, it's called mimetic epidemiology. Thank you very much.
There you go. This is why you come to Help on Hollywood, to learn. To learn what? I don't know. I'm still so confused. I don't know. I don't get it. But do you suggest people watch Adam Sandler's new Happy Gilmore too?
That's what we were talking about. I do. I think it's fun. Whether if it's your thing or not, like, I think there's something in there for everyone, even if it's just you want to see Eminem dressed as a golfer in the weird thing that he does in the film. It'll make you smile. There are parts that I think that everybody can enjoy. So yeah, head over to Netflix, watch Happy Gilmore 2, and maybe keep your kids off TikTok.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great all around. Excellent. Well, have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? What are your thoughts on the film, on the legacy sequel? Do movies owe us a better story after so many years of being able to work on a very good story, or are you just there for the callbacks, for the flashbacks? Comment down below. Also, comment down below if you've seen Fantastic Four. What are your reviews? What are your skibbity-doo-dah reviews for the Fantastic Four stick?
Was it lit?
Lit.
I feel like that's old too.
My goodness.
I don't know.
My goodness.
Did it eat? It ate? Never mind. All right.
See, the thing is, I don't. We're dropping this.
Yeah, we're dropping this.
Okay.
We'll keep talking about it after.
What we're not dropping is our appreciation for you, those watching the Hub on Hollywood, and for those listening wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for joining the Hub Club. We're inching towards 600 subscribers.
We'll be there next week. I feel like.
And again, once we meet another big milestone, maybe 1,000, we'll do an even bigger merch giveaway. We gave a shirt and a T-shirt away last time. So when we reach 1,000, we're gonna go all out for another big merchathon. But yeah, Jamie, this is great. Are you gonna watch Fantastic Four? You said soon.
Yes, I'm gonna watch Fantastic Four this weekend.
Bring tissues.
Oh no. Okay, all right, I will.
Yeah,
and then I'll watch Superman after as a palate cleanser.
Excellent, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we are the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie. Until next time. Toodaloo.
Bye. Skibbity. Bye bye. Tongue.
Go. Get fucking.
I'm done.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Oh no. No chat. What do we do?
Oh no chat.
Oh no chat.